Hello, online crew. How is everybody today? We're going to talk about one of the most important things I think people who are newer to building online need to be really aware of to gain the respect of people on social media and in the online world. So the reason that I'm sharing this with you today, and this wasn't actually going to be my topic for today, but yesterday I had a live Zoom call with those in my branding course, and it came up then, and it's like, yeah, I really should remind people of this because it's that important. Okay, so I want to share that with you today. So if you're fairly new to building an audience, so maybe you've got an online presence, but your audience is still pretty low, like your followers, or like you're quite new to sort of building on social media. This is, or even if you've been around for a while, but things aren't speeding up as much as you would like it as far as growing your following, then, I really recommend that you listen intently to what I'm about to say today. This was something, thankfully, somebody told me very early on in my journey and building on social media, and I really took it to heart. And I think it helped. So, I know it helped. So I want to share that with you guys today. So this is, something I normally share with those in my branding course, but I think it's a really important piece of advice. I just want to say thank you for those of you that were on with Clubhouse with us earlier. Our topic for this week was talking about building out your 90-day plan and just planning in general and all of that kind of stuff. And we had a really deep dive discussion into planning and the importance of planning and getting where you want to go. And, no one's coming to save you. You have to take 100% responsibility for your life, like all of that. So well done to those of you that were on our Clubhouse room earlier. We had a really good discussion regarding that. Of course, my son rings me while I'm live. Anyway, we'll just ignore that. It's coming up on my phone. So if you see me looking up and down, I'm here on Facebook, YouTube, and my free Facebook group, and I'm over here over on Instagram. So welcome to the broadcast today. If we haven't met before, my name's Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain. This is just a bit of a fun for our online crew community here. This kind of started, and it's really dropped off because of, the big C word that we're all facing around the world, is that, the goal was, and it still is when it's safe, but one day I want to get on one of these things. I'm probably not going to jump on one at any time in the near future because we had a massive outbreak of the big C on one of these in Australia probably about a year ago. But one day I want to jump on one of these and with a whole lot of you. And I don't know about you, I'll be sipping margaritas. What's your weapon of choice? It can be coffee, it can be water, it doesn't matter. I just like margaritas. I haven't had a margarita for ages, actually. I should do something about that this long weekend. But this whole thing was, I had been on a cruise ship with my family a few years ago, and just sort of got the bug for, I want to go back, and I'd love to go back with entrepreneurs. And, let's do a workshop or something like that. And let's all get on a cruise ship together. And this is sort of where all this came from. So it's just a bit of fun in the online world. But one day, guys, maybe one day, we will get on that cruise ship and have a few drinks and learn a few things about the online world and have a really good time. Who's up for that? If we haven't met before, I help home-based business owners, entrepreneurs, direct sellers, those in network marketing, MLM, leverage modern social media strategies to build their business online. So if you want to attract more people to you in the online world, do things like video marketing, Facebook Lives, Reels, all those kind of things, learn a little bit more about the online world, you are in the right place, my friends. If anyone's here that's new to our community, make sure you say hello so we can sort of embrace you. And for coaching community members, those of you in my online crew coaching community, we are on a live Q&A Zoom call in less than half an hour. So there was a post that went up on the group. I've emailed you the Zoom link, like hop on and let's just chat about you and your business. What are you struggling with? That's your opportunity to get some free coaching from me. Okay, so hopefully I'll see a lot of you from the coaching community on Zoom in less than 30 minutes. So let me get into this. How is everybody, by the way? Just want to say hello to a few people. We've got Debbie, we've got Facebook user. Anybody that looks like that, you can see it on the screen there. It says Facebook user. That just means you're watching from my free group and you need to click the StreamYard link. So at the bottom of the description in the group, you won't see that description anywhere else. It says streamyard.com/Facebook. Just press that and then I'll be able to see who you are. Hello, Hero. Hello, Donna. Hello, Yvette. Hello, Joy. Hello, Rashida. How are you? We've got Olive here as well. We've got Beth. We've got Laurie. Look at all these beautiful looking women in the house. We've got Cheryl. Hero. Yes, I want to jump on the cruise ship with you in the cruise. Awesome. One day. Would love to meet you all on a cruise ship one day. Okay, everyone's coming. Laurie's in. Good to hear. All right, one day, guys, we'll get there. So let me share this with you. When you go online, and I would recommend, it's kind of the whole point of the branding course, obviously, is that you brand yourself a certain way. Some of you will be building on a personal profile to start with. That's all you've got. Like, you don't have a business page or a group. So there's still certain things that you want to stick to on a personal profile. Something that I suggest to my team is that sort of pick 5 pillars that represent who you are. So that might be family. It might be like, how many of you know what kind of dog I've got and what name he is? Like, just put that in the comment section below. Like, that animal of mine is a huge part of like what I do on social media. A lot of you know who Harley is. I just gave you the name, and what kind of dog he is. Like, that's one of my pillars. Okay, sharing Harley with the world. Also, I talk often about multiple streams of income. And, you know, if you look at my personal profile for a while, you'll see that I build online businesses and I'm in the entrepreneurial world and whatever. It's what I want people to know about me. Okay, health and wellness, you know, occasionally I share things about, you know, the fact that I teach a class at the gym on a Monday morning. Like, some of you know that about me. Like, there's things about me that you guys know about me because I constantly post about that. So there will be a topic or a couple of topics that represent sort of who you are. So just store that for a minute. Then those of you with a group or a business page, hopefully you've got some kind of brand of some sort that you're building. So there's a topic that you want to help people with. That could be a health and wellness topic, jewelry, finance, weight loss, skincare, attraction marketing, building businesses online, you know, business opportunities. It could be a variety of things, okay? So just think of that. There are things that you want to let people know that you do in any one of those spaces, whether it's a personal profile, business page, or group. Now, here's what runs through people's head a lot when they start online. Who's going to listen to me? I'm not a certified coach in health and wellness, or I'm not, you know, I don't have a degree in this, or, you know, I'm not an expert at that, or I haven't recruited anybody online yet. So how can I talk about attraction marketing? Like, there's all this kind of stuff that runs through your mind. So what we want to do is show up in a way where you are portraying that you have a passion and an interest around something, and you're sharing that with your audience. And the more you share your passion and your interest with whatever the topic is that you choose, wherever you're hanging out, is how you share that message. So this is what the thing that I want you to remember. Share, not dictate. And I'll explain what I mean by that. When you turn up and feel like you have to be somebody that you're not yet, or you have to be some kind of expert, or you've chosen your topics that you want to concentrate on and you suddenly give all this advice, that's good, but it's how you share that advice that you will get people looking at you going, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's a good piece of information. Or, who do they think they are? Suddenly talking about that or giving out their information. Because this is what happens in our industry, is you've done what you've done all your life. You might have some kind of career. You might be in the corporate world. You might be a nurse. You might be a gardener. You might be like, what's your thing? People know you in your life for what you've done up until that point. And then you suddenly go into something like network marketing or direct sales or a home-based business of some sort. And then suddenly you're starting talking about something else that nobody knows that you've ever been interested in before. And they're like, what? Including your family and friends? Does this resonate with you guys about how some of you feel about, or how, you know, sometimes the fears creep in about, well, how can I sort of start talking about that online when I've never really talked about that before? And like, people are just going to look at me and go, who do they think they are talking about this kind of topic? Because I've got no qualifications and you know, all that kind of stuff. Does that ring true for any of you? Let me know in the comment section. So here's what you do about it. This is going to gain you the respect and the interest and the following and the influence, is when the how of how you share your message. So things like, story-based posts, curiosity-based posts about something that you're learning about and something you're really interested in. So, what's important to you? So I'll give you a business example. Maybe it's you start, and this is a journey. This is not 1 or 2 or 3 posts, guys. You'll be successful on social media when you share the journey of what you're learning, not just one social media post. Too many people put too much emphasis on, oh, I've got to put a post out there to sell more of this, or get more people into my business opportunity. You put hours and hours into this post, and you post it, and then you watch it. Who replied? How many comments have I got? And all this emphasis goes into this one post. Or maybe you put something in your stories and then you're watching it like, has anybody responded? Like, to be successful on social media, you have to do that all the time and just marry the process and divorce the outcome and not worry about it and just let the results come, but actually do it on a really regular basis. So you would share something like the business opportunity side of it. Like for me, my story, some of you know my story, came out of the corporate world. So, 6-figure income in the corporate world to nothing. I reluctantly resigned from my job for family reasons. We moved to the country to look after family affairs and stuff like that. So I've gone from like a 6-figure income to nothing, no income, just resigned from my job and nothing to go to. So I was looking and I was open to sort of, business opportunities and how am I going to make money? And once I let myself sort of finally wind down from the corporate world, I didn't want to go back there. Like I didn't want to go back to the 9 to 5. And it's like, no, I like this kind of let's do my own thing. And, I might try this network marketing thing. And, that didn't work. Maybe I'll go online and see how I can attract people to me online. And here we are today. Like, you've all got a story and a journey to how you found what it is that you're doing in your business or what your passions are. So if it's product-based and you are interested in health and wellness and things like that, start talking about your journey and share what you're learning. So the difference between how you get respected online and grow influence is you share, you suggest, you tell stories, you create curiosity rather than dictate, tell, share it in a way that, well, if you want to do this, you should do that. Like, you're telling people what they should do rather than suggesting. So if this is something that might be relevant to, maybe try this, or this is something that's working for me, so I just wanted to share it because maybe it might be helpful for some of you. Do you see the difference in how I'm delivering that message? So I can deliver something, regarding health and wellness and say, 5 tips to do something or other. And somebody might look at me and go, why are they sharing tips about that? Like, they're not in that profession. Like, people's skepticism gets raised when you are not knowing as somebody to have credibility on what you've decided that your new interest is. So share the journey and share what you're interested in and say, look, I'm not a professional in this, but I'm really enjoying learning about, because this is important to me and my family. I'm worried about our finances moving forward and the lack of security in my job. So I am looking at other ways to generate income because I'm worried about out of retirement. Tell that story. Create human connection with the reason that you are sharing what you're sharing and what you're suggesting. Take people on the journey with you and create that curiosity rather than going, did you know X amount of Americans have lost their jobs and whatever, and multiple streams of income have never been more important than ever. And so what I suggest what I think you should do is, it's like the way you deliver your message on social media will make a massive difference on how people perceive you. So when you share, when you suggest, when you share your journey of what you're learning, and if this is helpful to anybody else, that's great, but I found this really useful. I just wanted to share it in case anybody else was in a similar situation to myself. That is so much more warm, fuzzy, friendly, and absorbable for people than you suddenly turning up on social media and becoming some kind of online entrepreneur expert, or skincare expert or whatever, or you're doing a demonstration and this is how you should do this, and it's like, how come they're teaching skincare? Like, where did that come from? But if at the beginning of your demonstration, it goes, something that has become important to me is, I want to try to look younger as long as I possibly can. So this is what I'm learning about. And I just wanted to share something with you. I recently learned about a skincare routine or something like that. And I thought I'd just share it here in case it might be useful to anyone else. See the difference? Does that make sense to you? In how you deliver. So try not to, and I see people when they do this with their Facebook lives, you're taught to give value. Give value, give value, give value. What happens sometimes if you don't have a high level of awareness of how you deliver the message, when you give value, you can very much come across as somebody who's teaching. So you're dictating and you're teaching. And you don't mean to, but you've been told, like, give value, don't sell, share, all that kind of stuff, give value. So then you go and look for topics to give value about and you start talking about them. But if you deliver that message in a way that looks like you're teaching, still people could look at you and go, what right have they got to teach that stuff? So at the beginning of what you're sharing, if you're saying this is something that's really important to me, I'm not a qualified doctor or, anything like that, but I'm learning about this because this is important to me. So if any of you can relate to that, you might find this helpful. Here's my 5 tips too. So the way that you share it in the beginning and how the way that you introduce it to people will be, oh, okay, that's fair enough. That's something new that Helen's interested in. See the difference? So I think when you can learn to deliver it in that way and you can learn to share and suggest rather than dictate and tell and teach, just have the right message in the beginning of what you're going to say, people will not be so skeptical of you. People will be more open to what it is you have to say. You can it's much easier for you to gain influence because when you start talking about that thing over and over again and all the things that you're learning about that particular topic over and over again, you can't help but build influence, but in a right way where people respect you rather than looking at you going, how come they're talking about that? Make sense? Okay, what are your thoughts around that? I just want to check in whether you heard the message there. Just say, yes, it makes sense. Because it is so important as how you are perceived. Are you talking at people or are you talking with your audience? Massive difference. Most people talk at their audience and not with their audience. And I do hear a lot of people say, well, I'm going live and no one's there, or I don't get much engagement. So it's all like, to you, one way. You put a piece of content out and your expectation is that people will listen and people engage. And then you get all down on yourself when no one's engaging with me, or I'm not getting much organic reach or whatever. You have to deserve and earn the right to get the engagement. And when you include your audience, whether that's personal profile, group, or a business page, and you bring them into the discussion and you learn to have a conversation with your audience about what you're learning rather than just sitting there and teaching and dictating to people, massive difference in your success online. So I really hope you're hearing the message that I'm giving you today, because it can make a big difference, especially in the beginning. When you're new and you don't have an audience yet and you're trying to grow an audience, how do you get people to stay tuned in with you? It's the way that you deliver the message. It's the how. You deliver the message, because people don't like being told what to do, is the bottom line. Do you like being told what to do? I bet you don't. So when you suggest something and somebody goes, oh, that's a good idea, I might try that, rather than me saying, well, this is what you absolutely must do. It lands completely differently on the other side of that message. Okay? So no comments, guys. So true. Your words and tone make a huge difference in the way that you deliver your message. Makes perfect sense. Share your experience and what you're learning. I tell you that the money that you earn and the money that you will earn somewhere along the line is a direct reflection of how many people you are helping. So if you're being really helpful and really valuable and share great stuff with people and they learn from you and they enjoy listening to you, and you're helping a lot of people, you will earn more money. So the direct, your hip pocket is a direct correlation to how valuable you are out there in the marketplace, either traditionally or online. So if you want to earn more money online, become more valuable in what you do, become more helpful, share, suggest, give suggestions and, tips and things like that, but share it in a way where you're really trying to be helpful, not dictative to people. Okay. So I hope you really take on board that message. And for some of you, it might be changing a bit of your language or changing a bit of a strategy or just having a high level of awareness of how you're showing up on social media, what you're writing, what you're saying in live videos. Just introduce it in a way of why it's important to you and the reason that you're sharing it with your audience. Okay. Really, really important. Yes, Yvette, share your experience and tell the truth. Be you. Okay, so I hope you take that on board and implement that, because it could speed up your results with, people staying with you in the online world. Okay, so those of you in my online crew coaching community, I'll see you guys in just under 10 minutes on our live Q&A Zoom call. This is call 1 for those of you in the US, Canada, Australia type time zones. Those in the UK, which are probably not listening because they're all asleep at the moment, there's a call for you guys tomorrow in your time zone if you're catching the replay of this one later. So hope to see some of you on that Zoom call in the moment. For the rest of you, I will catch you tomorrow. Okay, bye.